Hello, one and all, and welcome back to Soldancer Plays Castlevania Symphony of the Night. We're going to just pick up right where we left off last time, just outside of the librarian's room here. And now that we've got the double jump in the library, we're going to be able to open up a couple of new areas and get a couple of new items. So, we'll just head on back over this way. Get these books out of the way. I should let one of these attack me because it's actually kind of cool and a little bit creepy what their attack looks like. Yeah, this giant skull comes out. It's weird. Alright, so here's the first spot we can get to. What's this? Notice I think this is the first time that we've actually gone off the map since we picked the map up here in the library a couple of episodes ago. And we even get a save point. So there is a save point in the library, you just can't access it without the double jump, which is a little bit of a pain. Because you have to come here first in order to get the Jewel of Open. But that's fine. And now we have armor fleas. Oh dear. Yeah, they do quite a bit of damage. For some reason, drones drop the hide cross. Jeez, these guys are messing me up. I usually try and use soul steel to get through this room. Because those axe armors, if they hit you with the actual axe, it does a pretty hefty chunk of damage. Okay. Okay, yeah, I can't get up from that side, or from the middle there, but I can get up from the side. Yeah, just go around this way. If you time it very carefully, it's actually possible to get to this room on your first trip through the library before you have the double jump. If you can get one of the spell books to follow you to where you have to double jump to get into this area, you can actually double jump, or I'm sorry, you can jump and get one of the spell books to bounce you up into this area, and then again, if you do the same thing right here, this is the gap that you can't double jump up even. I've done it before, it's really tricky to do, it's not really worth the time, especially if you do the jeweled knuckles trick and you're not averse to using the jeweled knuckles to get through up to this point. But you can get up here your first time through the library and get a couple of pretty powerful items. And of course, because bookcases always have secrets. It also stands out a little bit because you can tell it's rendered, so it's not exactly... I think these other ones are too, but it does stand out. It's kind of like the Scooby-Doo effect. If you see a cell that's not part of the matte painting background, you can be pretty sure it's going to do something interesting. It's going to move. Alright, what do we have here? We have the Topaz Circlet and the Holy Rod, two very powerful items. The Topaz Circlet is a head item, slightly decreases our defense, but increases our intelligence quite a bit. And in addition to that, you'll see it restores HP by poison damage. So things like the spittle bones dripping on you, and there's actually several other poison attacks in the game. There's one enemy we'll get to much later that this item essentially makes trivial. And it's an enemy that's a complete hassle without having it, so it's really nice. Might as well go ahead and put that on here. And then we also picked up a fantastic weapon. We got the Holy Rod, and this is our first club class weapon, so you notice it bumps up our attack significantly. Anointed Rod, it also is Holy Elemental, which means it does, I think, double damage against anything that counts as Darkness Elemental, which includes anything that's undead, which means skeletons. So a huge portion of the enemies in the game take increased damage from the Holy Rod. It's also one of the first items that we get that has a special move associated with it. So this is normally what the Holy Rod looks like, but if you hit back forward when you attack, you get this kind of extra boost attack. See how it normally you just get looks like this. It doesn't use MP, apparently. I, for some reason, thought it did, but I guess it doesn't. Some special moves for weapons use MP, and some don't. Just seems kind of arbitrary, but whatever. Oh, we did pick up the Stone Mask from there, which, if we... Yeah, it's got a little bit higher defense, but I like the healing from the poison. Just having it on standby in case we need it, and the increased intelligence, because I do like to use spells. Yeah, it makes short work of those guys, even though they're not wholly elemental. It still just does a huge amount of increased damage. Alright, so we're going to go ahead down here and get a totally new power-up. Actually, you know what? No, I can't get it yet. I can fight the boss that's down here, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do. But the item at the end of the boss fight, I can't get quite yet. Well, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just get killed in here. You know what? Heck with it. Let's just get out of here. We'll come back when we need to. I keep hitting left bumper in order to try and bring up the map, because I've recently been playing both Hollow Knight and Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is essentially this game for a modern audience. And Bloodstained, both of those games use the left bumper on an Xbox or a PlayStation controller, L1, to bring up the map too. I'm kind of having to unlearn that and remember it's the select button. Alright, data saved. So we're going to just head back through here. I really just wanted to get the Holy Rod, was kind of the most important item, but having the Stone Mask, if we need a little defense boost, and the Topaz Circlet for the healing from poison is pretty cool too. So yeah, if you get one of these spellbooks to follow you, you can jump, and if you get it to hit you at just the right part, yeah, the little tiny extra bit of arc that you get from getting damaged can actually bump you up here before you're supposed to be able to get there. And if you do the same thing, you can actually get to the Holy Rod way earlier in the game. But it's just, to me, it's more trouble than it's worth, since I already kind of know what I'm doing. Alright. So there's one more spot. Oh, no, this is where the fairy scroll was, right? Yeah. These spell books also, and magic tomes, have a very small drop chance. Spellbooks have a small drop chance to drop a bag of 1,000 gold, and magic tomes, which only appear in that little section where we picked up the fairy scroll, those have a very small drop chance of dropping a $2,000 bag of gold. Okay, so let's see. I think I should be able to get there. Maybe not. I might have to be able to fly, return to mist to get up there. Okay. So I guess we just get the rod for now. I can probably try the bump trick to get up there too, but yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. Right, so I really just wanted the Holy Rod and to get the cloak upgrade from the librarian. Alright, so we're just going to head back. Am I going the right way? No. Sometimes I get a little bit lost in the library. I keep wanting to head left when I actually need to go to the right and down. Yeah, see, 55 damage, 29 to the book, and 55 to the Duran, so yeah, it does massively increase damage to anything that's undead. And it's fast. It attacks very quickly. You can attack straight, you can attack crouching, and you can attack down. The only disadvantage of it at this point in the game is really that it's not edged because it's a club type weapon. You can't use it with Dark Metamorphosis. It just won't, it doesn't make anything bleed, so you can't actually, that's fine. You know what, it's more trouble. will just keep going and not worry about uncursing myself. Yeah, these ectoplasms count as undead as well, so the Holy Rod does a ton of damage to those guys. Long library. Alright, so our next agenda item, if you recall from a couple of episodes ago, down further in the outer wall here, we came across a gate that said mist could pass. And our next objective is to actually get the mist. And to do that, we're going to have to go into an area that's not on the map. So I'm going to wind up taking us through that section first. And let's see. Trying to figure out the best way to get there. It is to the right of the Royal Chapel, but you have to actually get into it coming from the clock tower, I believe. So, or no, oh. Okay, hang on a second, I'm going to get my bearings and I'll be right back. Okay, so I remember where I'm supposed to go next. So we're actually going to be heading back not to the clock tower, which is what's in the dark blue upper right portion of the map, but we're actually going to be going back to the clock room. So we're going to take the elevator all the way to the bottom. And one of the rare occasions of actually... Did I pick that up before? Yeah, I guess I did. This one, however, I did not, because I didn't put the dollars on. So Garnet, which is one of the more valuable of the gemstone drops. And yeah, I already have that one. So we're going to be going back to the very center room of the marble gallery? I think it's marble gallery. Let's keep the Bible. So get through... Oh, yeah, turn this down. Yeah, for some reason those guys died really fast when I came through here before with the Baslard. Just because I'm going to go ahead and put on the Maricoras. Because there's at least one more of those stone roses. Yeah, stone rose. It's a band, isn't it? Stone roses. Make sure we grab that 250 gold bag. Yeah, Diplocephalus, it's the Latin Greek roots for double-headed, which is, I think, the same thing that Amphispina means, but those are called Amphispina in future Castlevanias. Oh, you can actually stand... Yeah, I just did it there for a second. You can actually stand on their backs, it's kind of weird, and attack the woman torso at the back of it, but it doesn't do anything, it just kind of knocks it backwards a little bit. And then we still have this mysterious thing down here that we haven't managed to get into yet. Alright, so back at the marble gallery. And we had one more area over here that we needed a Jewel of Open to get into. So let's open that up while we're here. Jump on this pressure plate. Did something. Let's go see if we can figure out what that did. Yeah, interestingly, there's not much in the way of in-game hints to figure out a lot of the stuff that you're meant to figure out. It's really kind of relegated to trial and error. I've opened up this section here. Got an attack potion and a library card. Handy to have. There's actually a second one of these, kind of pink, below the feet chambers, and it is what opens access to this section that's dark blue right below me. We'll be going there fairly shortly, but I actually want to go... I want to go ahead and get Mist and Flight if I can, because it's really handy to have for that lower section. I think I should be able to get both before I get down there. Yeah, but just gotta keep heading to the left to get to that center clock room. where I met Maria. Jewel of Reflect, I don't really need that right now. Okay, here we go. Just gotta get past a couple of flea men. Or, yeah, one, that's fine too. Okay, so sometimes when you come into this room, the angel that's in this upper left corner is gone. I don't know exactly. I think at certain times of day, I think maybe this clock is attached to the system clock. I do know for sure that this... Oh, no. Ah! Okay, yeah, I don't know what makes it do that. This angel, however, there's a trick to be able to get around. Well, that makes me frustrated. I need to look that up. That's one of those things that I've looked up before, and I've forgotten exactly what it is that makes that left angel open and close. Because it is an important area to get to. You can get to it other ways once you've unlocked things, but the first time you get to it, that's the only way to get there. Yeah, I'm looking for the pocket watch item, which I think is right here. Yeah, there we go. So say bye to the Bible for a little bit. Pocket watch works essentially like it does in most other Castlevania titles. It costs quite a lot of hearts. Yeah, I think it costs 20. And it pauses complete time for about 5 seconds for really any low-level enemies, and slows down high-level enemies, and for bosses it does almost nothing. Some early bosses it will slow down time for, but most bosses it just does nothing at all. So it's not really the best item. There's a couple of areas where it can be useful. Oh, hey, open back up again. Well, but I have the watch, so I'll risk it. Oops. So as long as the pocket watch is active, that angel on the right goes away. And we get the Alucard shield? The Alucard mail and the Alucard sword. Excellent. We now have the equipment that we had at the beginning of the game, right? Resists fire, lightning, lice, lightning and lice, yeah. Fire, lightning, and ice, question mark? Drops my defense? Increases my luck? Yeah, that's basically all this gear does for you. I'm going to put the silver blade back on. Luck is actually pretty cool because it, I guess maybe it's just the mail that does it. I guess it's just the mail. I thought the sword did too, but yeah, you can see the sword actually drops my attack to 0. So, not the thing I want to be equipping at the moment. Oh, I think you have to have all 3 on to get the luck bonus. I think that's what it is. If you have all 3 pieces of the Alucard equipment from his father, Dracula. Yeah, in case you hadn't figured that out or realized that Alucard is just Dracula spelled backwards. Yeah, very closed again. So clearly there's something that I'm doing or not doing that's making that open or close. I don't want to walk all the way away from here again though, so I'm just gonna hang out, go back and forth for a minute. If it doesn't open back up pretty soon, if it doesn't open back up when I come into it this time, I'll just pause the recording and catch up with y'all once I've managed to get into that area. Oh, this is also not a bad place to turn into a dog because you can run and get through there just a smidge faster. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause, figure out how to get this open, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I didn't even have to look it up. I literally just walked out of the room and immediately walked back in, and it opened. So maybe it's every other time you come in here. I have no clue. I will look it up after this episode. So I'm getting a little bit up there in time, but I wanted to at least show this new area and there's a save point pretty quickly inside here. And this is Olrox's quarters. Olrox is actually another vampire who is living within Dracula's castle. There's Nothing in particular in the game to tell you specifically. There's a bit of a hint when you actually get to add him to your bestiary. Because, yeah, you do fight him as a boss. There's a couple of hidden ceilings in here. Yeah. Hidden passageways, I mean. So, what do we have in here? I think there's just a couple of items at the end of the hall. Yeah. Some pots to smash. Food. Cheese. Broadsword, and onyx. I don't think the broadsword's very good, if I remember. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. If I didn't have the holy rod, it has the same power as the holy rod, but swings slower and gives you doesn't give you the bonus that the holy rod does when you're fighting. Ooh, wow! Let's see if I can soul steal him. No, probably. Yeah, I can't even hit him with that. One of these up here. I think this one should be. Oh. One of those, yeah, I can't cheat and look at the map now because this area is actually not on the map that we bought from the librarian. That's okay. Is that another? Almost positive one of these side paths is a. No, does this take us to the Colosseum? Yes, it does. Okay, so. Olrox's quarters I can't actually explore all of until I can fly anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I'll see you guys next time for Soldancer Plays Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Have a good one.